Hi and welcome back to the Big Knit Energy YouTube channel. My name's Sammy and this is episode 27, I think, of my knitting podcast. It's been a month-ish, maybe a little more, since I filmed a podcast because I was doing Vlogmas, which I did not the best at for what I wanted, but it still felt like a lot of work and it was overwhelming with all the other stuff I had going on. But I did have some interesting things to share during that. I got a Dean & Bean circular sock machine that I in-depth built and then tried out. And then I did a lot of gift knitting and I opened 2 advents. The 12-day advent from the Typical Bliss Grass is Always Greener. Yeah, that's what it was called. And then the 12-day Cosmic Dust Advent from Super Glow Fibres. So if you want to see those, you can look at my Vlogmas videos. I'll try to remember to put them all in a playlist. And so yeah, some of my FOs from the last month were gift knits, so I don't have those to show, but I do have pictures. And I have a lot of new cast-ons and a couple acquisitions, one being the January Yarnable, so I'll warn you guys before I show it since it is early in the month and maybe you don't want spoilers. And also a birthday gift that my sister got me kind of late, and I think I forgot to show it last month, or I don't know when it got here, so, but I definitely don't think I've shown it. So behind me is a complete mess and I'm not gonna do anything about it right now. I might film a cleaning up my craft room because it really needs to be done. And I don't know if you guys would like to see that, but I like seeing tidying or organizing videos, and also I need to put my little Christmas tree and stuff away. Yeah. So I guess we'll just hop right in. So first off, for finished objects were socks that I knit for my niece that are almost exactly the same as ones that I've knit for myself in the past. And I'll put a picture of them over here. It's not a good picture. I had a screenshot of a video. I was terrible at taking pictures over the last month. But yep, just vanilla socks for about a size 8.5 foot. My niece is 12, so that's a bummer. I don't have any small feet to knit for. And then it's not a bummer that she's 12 years old. It's a bummer that her feet are already big, but mine were like that too. The next finished object I have is the Sophie shawl. Oh, no, I'm skipping stuff. So the socks I knit for my niece, my younger niece, those are in Desert Vista Dye Works. Oh, I have a label. It's all rolled up though because I shoved the labels inside the cakes when they're left over. Desert Vista Dye Works self-striping sock yarn, and it was the colorway Full Bloom. And then for the contrast pink color, that's Hobie Unicorn. But I lost the label a year ago, and I just use that yarn for contrast on a lot of things. But that one is just in the bright pink. Hobie Unicorn Solid. Okay, now I think I'm done talking about that. So the next thing I knit was the Sophie shawl. That was the size medium. Yeah, there's a small, a medium, and a large. Size medium, and I knit it on the recommended needle size, but I did hold 3 strands together of yarn. I held 2 strands of Shibui Knits Birch in the color Tar, and I had 4 skeins of this, and I think I have 30 grams left over total. These are 50-gram skeins, so I did use most of the 4 skeins. It says it's a sport weight, but it does not seem like a sport weight to me. And it was in the colorway Tar. It's 100% extra fine merino. My dog wants him. And then with the 2 strands of that birch, I also held one strand of Drops Kid Silk Unicolor in the color 37, but oh man, I forget what it's called. Something C. Color 37. I'll show it to you. Okay, so these were the 2 Shibui Birch, and then this is the Drops Kid Silk. And I'll insert a picture of it where I have it like wrapped around my head to show my sister how it was. And I'll also insert a picture of the fabric in the sun because this just really glows in the sun. This is really pretty. So I'll put a picture over here. Alright, and the next finished object I have, I also didn't take any pictures of, and I took a screenshot with one of the thumbs not completed, but yeah, I did finish those before Christmas, and that was the World's Simplest Mittens by Tin Can Knits, and I knit that in Hobie Unicorn, but I held 2 strands of double so I could knit it at a DK weight gauge. And I also don't know what the color name of this one is, but it's very bright blue, so I feel like they're kind of easy to find. And I wanted to use a superwash sock yarn so that it could be machine washed because mittens like get dirty, you know. And I just kept them plain. I was kind of running out of time and motivation on gift knitting. I feel like I have to start in the summer. I don't know. But yeah. And I knit those in the adult small size for another niece. Oh, and then I made my first pair of socks using a sock tube for my sock machine, which this sock tube is like wider, looser than I would normally like socks, but it worked. So I did my first afterthought heel, first afterthought toe, and my first picking up and knitting the cuff and binding off. So this is my first time with bound off cuffs instead of cast on cuffs. And I knit these in the Bird Street yarn, I'm the Gingerbread Man, for the sock tube that I cranked on the Dean and Bean sock machine. And then this extra red is from the Skein Witch. She sent it to me when I bought one of her fall bags. So I don't really know what it is, but it was just perfect for these socks. And I don't know if this is focused or in frame or anything like that, but I hope so. Yeah, so I do need to try to figure out gauge more on that Dean and Bean sock machine. The first tube I cranked was even looser than this. The second tube I tried to crank was too tight and it kept like catching and dropping stitches, and it took me like 3 hours to crank, like not even enough for one sock. And then I ended up giving up on that. And then I think I got a third tube, which is better than this. And then for some reason, the fourth tube was all loose again. But that's okay. They're just Christmas socks, so I'm probably not going to wear them a lot of the rest of the time, but I probably will wear these a lot in December. And the reason I didn't do a red toe is because I wanted to see how it would pool. I just find that interesting with these yarns that make these little mini micro stripe type situations. And I really like this yarn, and I do have like half of it left. So maybe I'll gift knit someone Christmas socks next year. And then for a group of my fiber friends on Instagram, we did a gift exchange. So I sewed a project bag really similar to one that I already have, but I feel like I made some small improvements. And I will put a picture of that over here. And then I also spun her some yarn, and I sent her 100 grams of it, and then I was again running out of time for gifts, gift making, and so I waited, and here is the other half of it. I'll put like a close-up video and picture of the skein I already sent, because that one's still drying, so I don't want to take it down. And then here's my little scrap single. I don't know what to do with these, but they're cute, and so I'm keeping them, and maybe eventually I'll make a little scrappy project out of all my singles. I guess on to whips. I only have one whip that you guys have seen before, and that is my Alpenglow. So I didn't knit on this at all until Tuesday, and for reference, today is Sunday, and I think I knit like 5 inches or more on the body. So this is how it's looking. I hope that's all in frame. I'm pretty sure it is. I'll turn it around so you guys can see the progress keeper on the lower part of the body. And then I also picked up and started knitting the collar. So I've knit like 1 1/4 inches on the collar here. And I am using a fingering weight for the collar. So it is a looser gauge, but I don't mind that because it's a really soft yarn. It's the club base from Mace of Skeins, which is a 2-ply, I think 80/20. But it's really soft, and so it'll just be really comfortable around my neck. And plus I don't need a ton of warmth because I do live in Southern California. But this is knit in the Magpie Fibres collab with Spin Cycle Yarns in dyed in the skein, the gray, in the colorway Cinder. And then the Spin Cycle dyed in the wool in the colorway Love Spell, I think. Did I bring this skein over here? Oh no, it's still over there. And then that's the first skein. I think I have like 2 grams left where I felt like I was done down here. And then this is the purple. Instead of using a fluff, because I didn't want to buy that really expensive cashmere base, and I didn't want to use mohair, just to make this a little more versatile so I won't get itchy, because I do get itchy when it's hot. This is the Wandering Flock merino fingering single in Icy Lavender. And yeah, I was trying to do this from stash, and I ended up knitting the yoke and not liking how low the contrast was, and so I ripped it out and got new yarn to do it, and now it's taken me forever. But I feel like I'm on the home stretch now, and I'm excited to have this. It's finally cooled off here. It took until December to cool off in Southern California enough to wear a sweater, and even some days it's too hot. It was like in the 70s on Christmas. So yep, there's that. A lot of good progress on this week. I hope to be done with it soon, but I'm gonna try not to jinx myself like I have been. And then this is a unfortunate whip that's going to get ripped out. I just heard a weird sound. This was supposed to be the start of Fire Pit Mitts. I forget the designer's name. I'll include it, but it's supposed to be a worsted weight yarn, and I was trying to just fudge it and hold 2 yarns together, but I hate it, and it's too baggy anyways. So like I'm using a thinner yarn, but my gauge is too big still. So it was supposed to be to fit like my size hand. It was gonna be for my sister, and her hands are even smaller. It's a fingerless mitt, and it's just like huge even on my hands. So no point in continuing that. And this is out of my hand spun. This is a Corriedale natural gray, just single ply. This is left over from when I was making those barber pole yarns. And then this is leftover Magpie Feather in I don't know what color mohair from my Illuminate, which I might get rid of. I'm still mulling it over. So yeah, I'm gonna frog this. And I've started something else for my sister instead. Completely different. So I'll just show you guys that now. I am knitting the watch cap. What is it called? I have had it open on my internet browser on my phone for like 2 months or something. Watch cap hat. It's something like that from Pearl Soho. It's a free pattern of a 2x2 ribbed hat. And Inga from Knitting Traditions knits it all the time. I started this yesterday. It's on a US 3 and I'm using Knit Picks Swish, which is 100% fine superwash merino. And this is in the color Cobblestone Heather. I have 2 of these, so I should have enough. I think I'm knitting like the child size or something. It's like the second size. There's like a toddler, child, adult, small, medium or something. But this is the child size. But I put it on waist yarn and put it on my head just to make sure it would fit. And it fits my head, and my sister's a lot smaller than me in general, so I'm pretty sure her head's a little smaller than me, so it should be fine. I wanted to knit her like a fancy hat out of my leftover Spin Cycle Nocturne, which is like black and gray, but I sent her a picture of another hat using yarn that changes color like that, and she was like, oh, I don't know if I would wear a patterned hat, and I was like, you mean ribbing? And I think she meant the way it was kind of striping. So I'm just knitting her a plain one so that hopefully she'll wear it to death. And then my last knitting whip right now that I've been working on is the Habitation Throw that I started out of my Cosmic Dust Advent from HedgeHog Fibres. So that was 12 20-gram minis, and I split them all in half. Here's the second half. I have them separated so that I'll know which ones I've already used the color of without like having to think about it too hard. So this will be my second half when I start decreasing. And I don't think I took any pictures of the whole Advent, which is sad, but the colors are really funky and it's knitting up cute. And I'm not really managing my yarn changes or anything. I'm just trying to use all the yarn. And this is my little Bobasaurus progress keeper from Deladino, but I'm not using it to mark progress right now. I was just using it for marking my right side, but I am obsessed with this color. That's why I put it on the corner so I would get a lot of it. And then I'm going to make one of my other favorite colors that came in the Advent, like the last stripe of the colors, so that it'll be the opposite corner. But yeah, I really like this pattern. I like how light the blanket is, and I see what all the hype is about for the Habitation Throw. So I'm on my 4th color. So I have 20 more stripes to go. Oh, I have one sewing whip, which I wish I had finished by now, but I didn't. I'm making a really large Christmassy project bag, and I decided to just make it simple but still like quilted looking, and it has a really large boxed bottom. I forget how many inches I did. Shoot. I need to know so I can make the lining match. But I can measure and figure it out. It might be 6 inches. You see? Yeah, it's probably about 6 inches. Boxed bottom. And I'm going to do the lining in probably a solid gray. Just because I found when I used really dark fabric inside, it's so much harder to see things in there. And then I'll probably do a black drawstring channel and some straps. I'm thinking 2 straps like this, just because it is such a big bag. But yeah, I think this is really cute. I really like the way it turned out, for the outside shell at least. So yeah, I need to get on finishing that so I can work on other things. I really want to make more of like the slip dress that I made that's green, because I just feel like it looks really good with sweaters over it, and it's so easy to make. And now I have a line it will be easy to make now that I know I have a line to trace from that one. This one was really hard to like shape properly at first, because I didn't want it to be really tight, so I couldn't just use my measurements straight up. And yeah, now I feel like now that I have a stencil, it should be fine. And here is my birthday gift acquisition from my sister. It's 2 skeins of Spin Cycle dyed in the wool, and that's a sport weight 100% American wool superwash, and this is in the colorway Afterthought, which I think she picked a really good color for me. I don't know what I'm going to use this for, but it's nice to have. It's like a really grungy, colorful purple, teal, and green. Very nice. And next I'm going to show you guys my January Yarnables. So if you don't want to see that, I guess you could just end the video here, or you can skip ahead because I'm probably going to ramble at the end. But I threw away the card, the like informational card, but here are the extras. Let me grab the other extra out of here. I try not to handle this because the smell makes me feel really sicky. So the first extra is this Goddess Sea Minerals pomegranate scented bath bombs. And as you can tell, I don't like the scent. They're cute though. I'm just not a big bath bomb scent person. And then we have edible sprinkles. It's New Year's themed. I don't ever foresee myself using these. And then we have a 3 by the Sea stitch marker or progress keeper. So I'm going to start knitting some DK weight socks today, and I'll probably use this on those because that'll be my New Year's cast on. It just says 2023 and it looks like it has a little pearl bead there. So you guys can see that. And here's the yarn, so look away. This is called Party Like It's 2023. This is on the Hypnotic Yarn Plush sock base, which is 85% superwash merino and 15% nylon. And I'm obsessed with this color because it's like classic baby pink with like raspberry and chartreuse speckles. I just really like chartreuse and pink, so this is a really good color for me. Oh, I'm going to show you guys one more acquisition. It's a fiber acquisition, and I did show it in my, what's it called? Vlogmas. But I'm just really excited about it, so I'm going to show you guys here. And then maybe I'll open up the new one because it is, I'll just get it. So the first one is the Paradise Fibres Pastel Undertones Lucky Dip. I think undertones is just in there because this is what was used for the undertone shawl design, which is a free pattern. I think I've talked about it before. I think you can find it on the HedgeHog Fibres website, but it's really, really pretty. I love the shape of it. But yeah, this is that. So it's a mix of fibers and colors, and it's really, really fun, and I can't wait to spin with it and just grab chunks. They're just little tiny chunks. And I think it's going to be so fun to spin with. And the second one is the December HedgeHog Fibres Fiber Club. And it is this really cool, like, natural oatmeal-y color with pink and orange and green and little, like, purple blue. And it has, like, green tweed specks. So hopefully you guys can see that and the glare is not too bad. If it is, I'll take a picture and insert it. But this is 66.67% Rambouillet, 16.67% green tweed, and 16.67% glitter gold. So like Stellina. And it's 125 grams. And I guess I'm gonna open the January one because it's January and I want to. Yeah. Alright, so here's the one labeled January. This one is really cool. This one is like a grungy rainbow. Again, 125 grams. This one is 66.67% white BFL, 16.67% sari silk, and 16.67% mohair. So I have spun with sari silk. This yarn right here, if you can see it, has sari silk in it. That's what the like purple chunks are. And it's a little difficult to draft out. I do think I got better at it on the second half of the fiber. It's how much is it? 8 ounces? Because I think 4 ounces is like 100 grams ish. I think it's 8 ounces. But I've never spun with mohair, so it's really cool. Oh my gosh. I'm so excited about both of these. Oh, these are so cool. Also with that gray hand spun and the mohair, I think I'm going to make another watch cap hat. Probably keep it for myself since it'll be my first knitted thing with my hand spun. But maybe not. I also think I might make a hat out of this, so we'll have to see. I'm not a big hat person anyways, but I want to make a lot of hats lately for some reason. Oh, and this is the yarn I'm going to make my DK socks in. This will be my first DK socks. This is called Holiday Elegance from Cornbread and Honey. And this was gifted to me from my friend Nicole at Witch and Knittin' Mama on Instagram. And this was part of our like Secret Santa. And this is 75% superwash merino and 25% nylon. And I'm going to use the Crazy Sock Ladies DK vanilla socks, which is a free pattern. And I might be knitting it on DPNs. Okay, so now that's really all I have for you guys today. I might film a cleanup of my craft room right now because it's a mess. And I also want to film a Make 9, and I also want to film a stash down intro. So I'll be showing you guys like my whole stash and reorganizing it because it's a mess. Basically the theme is I'm a mess, but yeah, so I'll see you guys soon probably. Until then, bye.